So what are the basic remedies that we should do during the 7.5 Saturn?
To do remedies for any planet, you have to first understand what the planet is. Suppose you want to play a game well, first you have to understand the rules and how it is to be played, etc. Only then and then you start practicing. So that is the third part. And then you have a good mindset to play the game. And you should develop your confidence. All these things come together. So, if you know what Saturn is, then you can actually start inventing your own remedies. Normally, when something happens to us, we know what is the remedy. Suppose I am fractured and then I am like this. Then immediately when I look at other people who are fractured, I will feel very kind. Then when I see a fractured guy in front of me who is a beggar, because I am fractured and I know the difficulties, immediately I will be tempted to give money to him. So that is the remedy. So when people are in hospital, they will say, what is the use of all my wealth? And then they themselves want to give to hospitals. So there was one famous cricketer whose mother got cancer and he gave up all the money he earned for cancer research. You should do the remedy before it happens. By looking at what has happened to other people, you can find out what is the remedy. So what has happened to him, you concentrate on that. If you see a Saturn afflicted person has met with an accident and got severe bone injuries, you should know that Saturn can limit us, can get us handicapped. So we have to start giving to handicapped people. So that's how you actually do it. But if you know when are the trouble dates in Saturn period, all the trouble will come to people on 8th, 17th and 26th. One of my clients who went through 7.5 years Saturn, simultaneously with Rahu Dasa Shani Bhakti, attended totally 15 interviews. All the interviews, unfortunately for him, fell only on 8th, 17th and 26th and Saturdays. And he was a top student right from kindergarten. He was state first, etc. But in the campus interview, he got irritated and he said, I don't want your job. And then after 3 months, he attended another interview. They asked him, why didn't you get the campus interview despite such high marks? And it went on like this. And he attempted 3 times suicide during that time. After the 7.5 years Saturn got over, and especially when Rahu Shani also entered at the same time, he got a job and now he is well settled. So if you start looking around your relatives, friends, whomever you know, whose sun sign, moon sign you know, then you know it is 7.5 years Saturn. Just inquire with them. They will tell you exactly this is happening only on these dates. So from emails I get, from comments I get, I find that this rule is universal. So do all your remedies only on these 3 days, 8th, 17th, 26th or Saturdays in general. Reduce enjoyment on Saturday. If possible, do away with it completely. Do social service activity. But you now know what's happening in the world. Everybody keeps Saturday as the day of enjoyment. And that is the reason why Kali Yuga is getting stronger. So, if you have one particular liking, an addiction to something, it is better to sacrifice. Saturn loves sacrifice. Saturn hates pride. For example, in numerology, the English words that start with P and F are ruled by Saturn. The words that start with P, you will find you will get into trouble through them or through these things. For example, pain or poverty. In terms of F, we have fear, and then fire, and then we have fracture. So many such words. We have police, which is P. So people get into trouble with the police. And all these are likely to happen on these days. So the correct way is...
They end up in prison also.
Yeah, you are right, prison, for example, it starts with P. But the medicine also seems to be in P and F. Suppose you have pain and poverty, etc. Then you have prayer and prarthana, which is the positive side. If you have fear and fire, then you have faith.
8, 17, 26 and Saturdays you are giving us stress, sir. What about the Saturn based stars?
Yeah, Saturn stars are also to be counted, but they are difficult to be known. That's why I didn't mention right now. But in case you have a pancham, and if you know what is the star running today, then for example, if it is today is Pushyami, the 8th star, Ashwini is the first star, Bharani is second. So even in the order of stars, Saturn's number seems to be tallying with Saturn. So the 8th star is Saturn star, which is Pushyami. The 17th star is once again a Saturn star, Anuradha. In Tamil it is Anusham, or in Malayalam it is Aniram. And in the 26th star is Uttarabhadra or Uttaratadi. So on these 3 star days also these things happen. The easiest way to remember is India got its independence during the 8th star Pushyami.